Okay, welcome back to another painting video, you guys. I am working on Carol by Bountiful Baby. I posted on my Instagram yesterday a poll whether you guys wanted it to be a cuddle baby or a full baby, and the general consensus was a full baby, so that's what we're doing. She's a lot bigger than I thought, but she's got a cute little face, and here are her limbs. So I've already washed and primed her. I did the first coat. I'm going to do more of like an olive skin tone for her. So I did my sap green washes, and I'm going to work on the skin tone. This one just came out of the oven, so it's still a little bit warm, but my legs are ready to go. I've mixed up my flesh tone, Flesh 07. A Flesh 07? Yeah, Flesh 07 with a little bit of yellow ochre thinner, and yeah, we're gonna work on the skin tone today. So I'm gonna apologize ahead of time for rambling. I know some people aren't into that, but since I am into that, I like watching videos like this. Put me on in the background, guys. I'm just gonna talk and paint. Gloves. I still have not put in my order for gloves. I need to do that. Let's see. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We had a great weekend. My kids are homeschooled, and my daughter decided, she's starting high school, she decided to go back to school, start doing her schoolwork 2 weeks ago, so she's been on it. We do it through a university. I don't homeschool them. I'm just there kind of like as the mediator between the teachers if they need help or whatever, but it's been awesome. It's so, I mean, I love the fact that they love it, so that's so warm. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? I might need to stand up. Okay, but my son goes back on next Wednesday because we go with the school system. Oh boy, he's not happy about that, I'll tell you what. So they have to do 180 days of school. That's our our state's recommend, our mandatory hours or days or whatever. So I have, I have folders on both of them. They have to do their state testing, and anyway, but it's really cool because both of my kids are really they excel in math. They do not get that from me, but they're able to be in grade above where they would be in public school for math, and then like if they're struggling with something, they can be in a, technically a lower grade, but catch them up and help them understand rather than rushing them along, which I really like. So technically my son is going into 6th grade, but he's taking 7th grade French, 7th grade math, and science, so it's pretty cool. Just have to get him to actually do the work. Sit down. Also, he has ADD like I do, and I remember it being a struggle to have to sit and focus, but I think like my perfectionism like overrun like my brain in school, so I was like hyper focused a lot, but it was exhausting. So he gets to do a school, a subject, and then run around and we'll go for a walk outside, or he'll do like Beat Saber on the VR or something. So, and a lot of people ask about the social stuff, and gosh, my kids are so social. They've got like their online community that they're interacting with constantly, other homeschool kids plus neighborhood kids, and my daughter is a very talented writer, and she's got a huge fan base on the site that she writes on. So I love the fact that she loves to write. It's really cool. So, jeez. So anyway, I used to live in north in Massachusetts, and we used to go back in September, right? And we would get out in June. So in the south, they go back in August, and they get out in May. So it's very, very hot in August. So I'm going to do a few layers of this skin tone. I was actually pretty happy with this Bountiful baby kit. It wasn't completely white. That was nice. There was like a little bit of flesh color to it, so. I also did a poll on Instagram about if I should root or paint, and the consensus was root. So I ordered mohair last night, and boy, is it expensive. Darn, man, that is like, I mean, just like half an ounce of mohair is like $100. No wonder rooted dolls are a bit more expensive, huh? So I plan on rooting with you guys on here if you'll have me, if you'll watch and listen to me ramble. Okay, and then obviously we get to the face here. So we saw the Barbie movie yesterday, and I don't really know what I was expecting, but it was really good. It was really good. It was so much better than I could have like anticipated. And then I have a really funny story to tell you guys, and it's like one of those stories where it's like I hope it's not like a my God, it's not like a bragging story or anything. It's just like one of those random moments that pops into your head. So John Cena is in the movie. He plays like a mermaid. Well, he doesn't, I mean, like, okay, he's not like he's like a central part of the movie, but it is kind of like a cameo part. And so back in 2003, I was in college in Boston, and my best friend in college, she was from Nashua, New Hampshire, and Nashua, New Hampshire, yeah, I think that's what it was. And I went to her her house for spring break, and we went to a party one night, and these people were like, oh yeah, we have to go over to this guy's house, like he's like super cool, and like he's like really, really like, I don't remember if they said famous, because back in 2003 I'm not really sure if he was famous, but anyway, the guys were really excited to go, and I was like, okay, whatever. So we go to this guy's house, and he comes out, and I just remember him being like ridiculously tall, like really tall, and he's like, hey, I'm John Cena. And I was like, hi, I'm Chelsea. Cool. Nice to meet you. I remember him having huge hands and being really tall. And we went into their house, and like literally the entire time we were there, he put on videos of him wrestling, and we just sat there and watched him watch himself wrestling. And I remember thinking, like, really? And if I had known that he was going to be like this famous guy, I guess I would have been like, hey, can I get your autograph? But I just thought he was kind of, I don't know. Anyway, that's my fifth, I don't even know, that's my random story about meeting John Cena. It was a long time ago. And I don't think he was that famous, because I remember seeing him in, I think, Trainwreck. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that guy. I think he was a wrestler at that point, right? So this probably explains why he was showing girls videos of him wrestling. But he was perfectly nice. It wasn't like he was a creep or anything. It's just, you know, some guys are really into watching themselves wrestle. And that was my interpretation and my first impression. So, yeah, fun fact, right? But anyway, the movie was really good. I thought they did a really good job. And I'm looking for my Flesh 07. Oh, here it is. I left it out. Have you guys ever had a random meet up with a celebrity, maybe before they were like super famous? I think I might leave comments for review for this video. Let's see if you guys like that, because it'd be fun to hear about them. It's a long time ago. I'll have to look up and see like when he actually started wrestling. Can you guys see? Yeah. So I'm just going over with another coat. Did you guys play with Barbies when you were little? I was never really allowed to play with Barbies. I wasn't allowed to like paint my nails either, or like have makeup or anything like that. So I was allowed to play with baby dolls and doll houses and stuff. I had my my best friend at the time. Her name was Christy. And shout out Christy if you're watching. She was my bestest friend in the entire world, and she had a basement full of Barbies. Oh my gosh. And she had those 90210 dolls. Oh my gosh, I was so jealous. So we played hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Barbies. I was looking on eBay last night for some of the old-fashioned Barbie dolls, because now obviously people are going to be able to get like so much more money for them. It's like telling my daughter, I'm like, save your toys, save them so you can sell them one day. I mean, I liked Barbie. I think I liked Barbie. But I do think I liked Barbie because I wasn't allowed to play with her, right? I think, isn't that kind of like what happens when you like make such a big deal about something? Because I think maybe if I was allowed to play with Barbie, I wouldn't have cared about it as much, you know? But now look at me. Now I have all sorts of dolls that I like to dress up in fashion. So for you painters out there, I'd love to know what you guys watch when you paint. I normally watch Law and Crime Network. I usually watch whatever case is going on that's entertaining or exciting to watch. And I haven't been able to find one since the Murdaugh trial, really, because I was so invested in the Murdaugh trial. But there's one on now, which is awesome, and it's the Taylor Shabusiness one. If you guys are watching, I'd love to hear about it if you're watching. So I was like, I'm gonna film this morning before it starts at 9:30. I would love it like if I could do like a commentary while painting. That would be so cool. But I would definitely get claimed by Law and Crime because they claim their videos. But yeah, so I usually watch Law and Crime. Sometimes I'll do like an Audible book. I don't know. My husband is working today, so I have like very limited time to film. Normally when he's here, it's so loud because, you know, he'll be on meetings and stuff and like walking in and out of the room. And so taking advantage of my time with y'all. So after I do this, I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna bake it, and then we'll move on to some more skin tone. I like doing it this way because it's not so saturated. It's good. It doesn't take so long to dry. Also, if you're gonna prime your doll, leaving it overnight to cure is great, since I can definitely tell a difference. So if you get your doll kit, like prep it the day before you start painting. Okay, well, I'm gonna let this dry, and I will see you back after it is dried and baked. Okay, and we're back. We're working on the skin tone some more, and I have mixed up this color, Flush 05, I want to say, some yellow ochre. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Alright, so we're just going to go right to it. Still kind of hard to see with the lighting situation here. I'll have to figure that out. I want to make sure everything is smooth. And you get in between the knee. Yes. Let's see, what else were we talking about last time? We were talking about what we watch when we paint. I also am a big H3 podcast viewer, so I started watching that guy Boosie on Twitch. That was interesting, for sure. And then I watch people play The Sims. I love watching people play The Sims. That's a fun fact about me. Sometimes I watch my daughter play The Sims. I think I rather watch people play The Sims than actually play The Sims myself. I particularly like people decorating their houses. I like to see other people's artistic minds, but that's pretty consistent with my entire thoughts about people in general. I love people's beautiful artistic minds. Oh, another thing is I got released from my brace, and I'm allowed to just be like in a shoe for an hour or two a day, which is awesome. So I'm actually gonna probably around lunchtime go for a walk, and that'll be the first time walking without a brace in 4 months. So grateful that I was able to heal, and now I just have to have Kirsten come back, and we can get together when she's not jet lagged and I'm not in pain, and it'll be wonderful. I asked her if we could paint together for a video, like either like not do like a live stream, but paint together and film it and then like post it, just us chatting and stuff. That would be fun for sure. Although I know she's still doing air dry, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we don't have to be painting the same way, right? So I'm leaving a little bit of white there around the nose and the eyes. You'll see how that comes together in the end. I know, whenever I listen to these back, I'm like, Chelsea, stop sniffing, coughing. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I also drew a lot of desserts this weekend. I'll have to show them to you at the end here. I really like drawing desserts for some reason. I really like trying to make them look as real as possible. I think if I could only draw one thing, it would be desserts. And that's surprising because I'm sure a lot of you would have thought I would say cats, but it would be like desserts, then cats. I should do a one with desserts and cats in one. So I'll take like the kabuki brush and just kind of pounce it out here. I'm actually really impressed with the quality of this Bountiful baby kit. I'm not always... I don't find painting them very easy sometimes, but this seems pretty pretty on point with the other ones. So it's nice and thick. It doesn't have like a real chemical smell when you take it out of the oven. It's pretty good. Alright, let that dry. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit more of this. But I'm going to add Flush 07. I don't even know why I bother doing my nails, y'all. Like, every time I start painting, they just all go to crap. I was looking at one of those wraps. Do you know what I'm talking about? The wrap with the UV light. I'm like, I wonder if that would work better for me. If it was like shellacked on there with UV light. Might try it. These are just false nails. I mean, they're just fake that I glue on and then I paint them. But I do find that it really does protect my nails from the chemicals and stuff, because a lot of the times my nails are really, really dry and brittle, or I'll get like, they like hurt underneath them. And I feel like that's from the paints and stuff. But also when I was working on clay a lot, that happens. It didn't matter if I wore gloves or not, I swear to you. Alright, so I'm just doing another pass over here, and then I will let it dry, and then you know the drill, and then I will bake it. I think for this pass, though, I'm going to turn it over. I haven't been turning it over, I've just been doing 10 minutes, but you just got to really be careful that they're baking evenly on each side. I wasn't turning it over because the vinyl was so hot. I was afraid that by continuing to bake it, I would, you know, melt it. So, oh, also, so the wobbles, those crochet things that I was telling you guys about in my last video, let's just say that did not work out very well. I gave it a really good effort. We just were like, I remember now why I don't like crocheting. I understand that it takes practice and stuff, but I also kept thinking like, oh my gosh, this like thing was like $40, this little penguin, and I'm like, I wonder if I could just like learn from a YouTube video, maybe easier, I don't know. So we didn't end up getting very far, although we did both give it like an hour. to try to figure it out, but it's very difficult. It's very cumbersome for me, and my 14-year-old was having, she's very, she understood logistically how to do it, but dexterity wasn't the greatest thing for her in terms of like holding the yarn and like doing it. Yeah, it was a lot. So kudos to those that can crochet like a boss, because you guys are great. Same for people that make doll clothes, especially like Smart Doll clothes or like the Blythe doll clothes. Anything small, y'all are amazing. Because I had a lot of intention to learn how to make doll clothes. I even have a sewing machine. I just need to sit down. Wish I had someone to come and like show me how to do it. You know, I need everything to learn. I need to listen, I need to do, and I need to read. That's how I learn. It did kind of give me a new appreciation for when I'm teaching painting, because because for me it's so simple. Just like how I'm sure for the people that created Wobbles it was so simple. And I don't know if I did this on yet. But there's something to be said about over-explaining for those that don't know. Because if you're starting from no knowledge at all, it can be really overwhelming. Because even in the tutorials for making the doll clothes, they're using like they said it was for complete beginners, but they're using terminology that like I've literally never heard of, and I'm like literally like Googling it. It's okay. Keeping learning will keep your mind nice and fresh, and just gotta keep learning, right? Speaking of minds, I am going to be donating a few dolls to my mom's nursing home for Christmas this year. And yeah. I don't know why I just got emotional about that. I'm sorry, that wasn't intentional. Yeah. But I need to call the director and speak to her and kind of get a understanding about what they might want. I would love to just be able to do the cuddle babies, because that would be a lot easier, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't think that my mom will necessarily be somebody that will want it or find it to be like comforting, and that's okay, because, and this isn't like, okay, I'm gonna try to word this the right way. This isn't like a slight or anything, but I think that some people that never were like super like maternal would find dolls to be comforting or important if they had dementia, because a lot of the times when they lose their memory, they revert back to what they know and like what they love, and being a mom for so many people is what they have, and like, you know, and what's important to them. But some people aren't like that. Some people are, you know, workers, and they have to go to work and they have to be at work. And my mom was an art teacher before she was in her other profession, and she is stuck in the loop of having to go to teach. So probably in her late 20s, I want to say, and that's her main focus. So, you know, doing art and stuff with her would be fun and important probably. So I do need to make a trip for sure. Let's see her new facility. I think that before she got really sick, like before it got to be like really bad, she really loved the dolls, but she loved them because of the artistry, because she was fascinated with like how much work goes into them, and because being an artist, you know, that's what we, you know, when I look at a painting, I don't know how to even begin to construct it, but I know with my entire being how much work went into it. If you understand that, if you're an artist, you get it. An artist of anything, even writing, even writers or gardeners or sculptors, anybody that, even songwriters, anybody that creates something has an appreciation for a final product and understanding like how much time and effort went into it. So I think that she really appreciated that aspect of it, and she was proud of that. And I loved that because I just, you know, well, I guess, you know, everybody, well, I loved when she was proud of me, right? So, but now that she's really into the late stages, when she sees a doll, because my niece has a few dolls that I've made, right? And she sees it as, you know, like a dead baby. And I don't mean to be crass, but that's how she sees it. If it's not lying in a crib, you know, if the child has it like on the bedroom floor and stuff, that's how she sees it. She doesn't register as it a doll. So that's kind of like how my friend and I, who is she's a dementia specialist, and we're going to be going into different nursing homes and like educating the workers on like how to use the dolls and everyday activities and stuff. So that's going to be one of the most important things, is making sure that they keep it covered and they keep it in like a appropriate place. And I'm definitely rambling in this video, and I apologize, but I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to go and bake this, and I will be back. Okay, so we are working on more flesh, and I am adding a little bit of this pink to my flesh color. I added some linseed oil so it goes on nice and smooth still. So in order to save my sponges, a lot of the times I'll cut off the top of them and then kind of work from the clean area. Because sponges are super expensive, and I feel like sometimes it's really wasteful when I am just using them and then tossing them like that. So because it's not going on my face, you know, if I was using them for their intended purpose, obviously I wouldn't do that, but yeah. I think I'll end up doing probably two or three layers of this, maybe three. We'll see how it goes. I'm just avoiding the bottoms of the feet. And am getting the top. Okay. Still quite a bit on here, but I promise I won't do anything off camera. Nothing important, at least. I'm not going to make any big promises in terms of like if I'm going to do the entire thing, but I really want to. I do like connecting with you guys, and it gives me like a kind of like a schedule to do, a stopping point for sure, because a lot of the times I'll just keep going, and if I'm really regimented about the fact that I'm filming for you guys, I will stop and walk away and work on something else. I have this feeling sometimes that I'm not allowed to do anything else while I'm painting a doll, because that's like my quote unquote like real job. But that's not true. I can work on my drawings in between, especially if I put in, you know, when did I start painting today? 6? 7? Yeah, I don't know. But I also know if I do really long days, especially with Bountiful baby kits, that's when mistakes happen. So it's really good for me to go slow, and you guys that go slow. Masterpieces take time. You don't need to rush. Especially with the Bountiful baby kit. I just was thinking, this is really weird, but this kit's name is Carol, and that's my mom's name too. I was like, oh, that's weird. Figured I'd answer some of the questions that I got when I posted Ask Me Anything on Instagram. Actually it was a few people that asked, why do I have comments off? And I think the biggest thing that I want to say about that is that I'm really focused on protecting my peace, and I really love painting for you guys and with you guys, but I also really love and know that there's a lot of you out there that are amazing humans, and I would love to connect with you and talk with you, and that's kind of why I have Patreon for you guys to hang out with me and chat and stuff. But mostly I don't have them on because I saw what Kirsten went through, and she really, doesn't share a lot about really how it really is to see all those like horrible comments from people that have no idea what reborn dolls are. And you know what? I understand that there aren't people that, I understand that there's not going to be that type of hate on, YouTube videos that people are subscribed to, because you guys know that you're watching a reborn doll video post like TikTok where, all of a sudden you're you know, watching your true crime stuff and then something pops up about a reborn doll, and you might not know what it is and whatever. I am open to having comments for these videos, like at least to review, especially since I'm gonna have my my wonderful assistant who does my emails for me and other little social media stuff go through the comments and post the ones that are cool, and hopefully they're all cool. I'm okay with that, but I'm the type of person that really just doesn't do well with people just being mean for the sake of being mean. And I know that about myself. And I have had YouTube channels in the past where I've had monetization and I've had, you know, a large following, and, you know, I get into my head and then I delete it. And I really don't want to delete this channel, and I really don't want to just quit because I, you know, impulsively feel like I need to. So that's kind of the reason why I protect myself in that cases, or just like, you know, if you want to talk to me, come over to my Patreon and, you know, let's talk. I love you guys. There's a few of you especially that are amazing, and yeah, that's pretty much why. Especially on Instagram too. You know, if I leave comments up, you know, I get so many spam stuff. I hope that we can like one day control that on Instagram, where we can just like only have the people that we want to be able to comment. And maybe there is a setting, I don't know. Okay, and then another one was, what was my favorite doll to paint? And I have two answers for that. Number one is Bob, the Last of Us doll that I did for Ethan, Kirsten's husband. That was so much fun, and I really want to make another one. I loved that doll. I loved being creative in that way. And then the other one was Sunny, by, I think it was Joanna Kazmarek. I really wanted to paint that doll for the longest time, and I was able to get my hands on the kit, and that was a fun one to paint. So, and also, I think one of my favorite dolls that I've made recently is the one that's for sale right now, which is the Charlie with the Quinlan limbs. She's just so cute. Honest to God, every time I walk by her, I have to pick her up, and she's just so beautiful. I haven't had the heart to pack her up yet because she's so beautiful. So, but yeah, I hope you guys understand about the comments and stuff. I'm gonna get better about it. I know I am, but I also kind of feel like I'm old. I'm not a teenager, you know. I'm gonna be 40 in September, and it's kind of like, you know, I really want to keep making these videos, and I hope you like them. And yeah, okay, so that was a lot today for sure. I'm going to bake this. I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to upload it for today, and I'll start filming for hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be posted too. So I'm going to try to get as many videos up this week as I can. And as always, thank you guys so much for being here. And if you have, if you want to connect with me, come on over to Patreon. It's $5 a month, and you can cancel anytime. I post dolls that I'm working on, and I post a discount code for that month. It's $50 off any doll that's in the shop. The coupon code is good for that month, and only good for when you're an active member. So, you know, if you see a doll that you like in the shop, you can go and sign up for $5 and then use the code towards any doll to get $50 off. So that's just a good way to do it, I think. Yeah, so head on over there if you guys are interested in the shop. There's 2 dolls there as well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!